Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Trust Arena in Henderson, Auckland for Game 3 of Match Day 3 at the OFC Futsal Championships Invitational 2013. It's New Zealand taking on New Caledonia, and I can tell you an upset win here for New Caledonia might well open the door to the semi-finals, and more of that in just a moment as we pause for the national anthems. Well, the national anthem of New Caledonia, that interesting combination of the French national anthem and the New Caledonian tune. One of the only sides to come out at an event with two flags. As we look at the Group A table, the tournament is delicately poised. New Caledonia, if they can get 3 points here, with a decent number of goals, could well upset the apple cart, because they would be tied with New Zealand on 3 points, and then assuming Malaysia beat the Solomon Islands at 8 o'clock local time this evening, we could have a three-way tie, and it will come down to goal difference. Ronan Usen, the New Caledonian goalkeeper, will be an important man this evening if Noam Tain's team are to cause an upset, while Ivan Poroworo, the skipper, has also been in excellent form for the team from Noumea. For New Zealand, well, it was a steep learning curve against Malaysia. They've got an opportunity to rectify that situation and lift again. It's going to take a mammoth effort to put down a New Caledonian side that's known for its team spirit and physical combativeness. The starting five: Burns, Eakins, Madigan, Barham and Elian. Well, it's Ford and Cornice and Yuzen with Poroworo and Kauui who start for the French-speaking side. The match officials are Mitesh Bihari of Fiji, Louis Malinarave of Vanuatu, Darius Turner from Australia, and Rex Kamusu from the Solomon Islands will be the timekeeper. I'm Gordon Glenn Watson, and of course, as ever, Paul Tui. Paul, big game for both sides.
Yeah, certainly is. Gordon, good evening. New Zealand have experienced contrasting fortunes in their last two games after the dizzy heights of knocking over the Kings of Oceania Futsal Solomon Islands on Tuesday night. They came crashing back down to earth against Malaysia, and it's a difficult task tonight. They've got to get past a very, very tricky side in New Caledonia, who actually beat New Zealand last time they met in 2010. We've called them the disruptors. They know how to knock a team off their rhythm, and New Zealand will need to start well here. Nice little crowd building up, and you can see New Caledonia quite fired up just from their little chant before they get underway. But yep, it's an enticing prospect, the next two games, as we try and find the semi-finalists to join Australia and Tahiti in tomorrow's games.
Well, the goal differences at the moment, Solomon Islands have -1, New Zealand have -2, New Caledonia -8. A 3-0 victory for the New Caledonians would leave them with -5 and the Kiwis with -5. And in terms of the goals for stakes, well, we won't go into that too much. Suffice to say, New Zealand have hit 8 in this tournament, New Caledonia 7, and Solomons have 10, 4 and 11 against. So it's all very similar, and expect a very cagey game. New Caledonia have lost 2 in a row, but they can put that all behind them. Poroworo. Oh, and that looked a nasty one. Burns is clutching his thigh, Poroworo his hip. Luke Cornice. Malik Pale. Ivan Poroworo, scorer of 2 fantastic goals yesterday. He's been caught on the ball by Burns. Malik. Ivan Poroworo played into the pivot. Nice exchange. Good tackle by Burns. Intriguing head-to-head there. Here's Manikim, saved by Yuzen. Well, this game's completely different already in the opening minute to the one we just witnessed between Australia and Tahiti.
Yes, not a lot of space in that last game, but already opening up for Manikim as he tried to work it onto his right foot. And the danger man from Tuesday night, and indeed last night, New Zealand's goal scorer. New Caledonia can ill afford to give him any room.
Well, it's end-to-end stuff. There's very little in the way of... Oh, and Burns is through. That's in the back of the net. New Zealand have taken the lead. And the goal's collapsed as well. Well, the match officials are going to have to take a pause here.
Great run by Burns, very strong on the ball on that left-hand side, and good finish.
Luke Cornice was on the line. He got a toe on it, but it was already in the back of the net.
So just the start, New Zealand were after Gordon as they prop the goal back up. Yeah, 1-0 New Zealand, just a minute and a half into the game, and good confidence booster for this New Zealand side as they try and qualify for the semi-final.
Well, the GoPro camera from OFC TV has taken a knock as well as the New Caledonian net. So Scott Gilligan taking the opportunity to have some words with the Futsal Whites. (1-0), just what New Zealand were looking for.
Yeah, looks like a little bit of work required just to put that goal back together. But yeah, Scott Gilligan and William Brett, the two coaches, getting an impromptu timeout and the opportunity to just talk some more to their teams as we have a look again at Burns. New Zealand got a hand to it, but it wasn't enough in the end.
No, Burns has done well. Using not as usual high standards of gloveman work. And the goal is taking some running repairs here. This is a break that neither side will want to go through. New Zealand with some momentum, and New Caledonia with perhaps too much time to think about what's just taken place. The stadium curator Aaron Hamilton is on the scene with match commissioner Michael Song.
Interesting to see New Zealand once again that they've got a settled starting lineup. A lot of the teams in futsal like to mix it up a bit with the who starts, but that quartet of Burns, Manikim, Burham and Eakins very much the favoured one for coach Scott Gilligan, with Ataralayan in goal has cemented his place as the number one, and he's got some competition. We saw David Plowright in the New Zealand Invitational side. Young Mitch Webber, of course, is an up-and-coming keeper, and the number two, Elias Billay, who for so long was number one for New Zealand. Clayton Chappell no longer on the scene. He's living in Australia, but good to see New Zealand with good goalkeeping stocks.
One more game for you on today's program. That is Malaysia against the Solomon Islands, which follows this match at 8 o'clock New Zealand local time. And the team news from the Malaysian camp is that Abu Hassan and Shamsul Zamri are both suspended, and that means Malaysia will go into that match with a depleted squad. And intriguingly enough, if the Solomon Islands can cause an upset and knock over Malaysia, they may well find themselves in the semi-finals. It could come down to goal difference. Stay tuned through OFC TV and our YouTube channel for that game.
So the sand, the problem there, Gordon, perhaps more than the state of the goal, just some sandbags behind the goal to help weigh it down. As we look at Burns again, it's a great run really, and Manikim was well poised at the back post. He did well to support Burns there, but on that occasion not needed.
Well, Ivan Porooro won't be well, he can't be too satisfied with the defending that he put in there, the New Caledonian skipper. It's not the usual standard that we've come to expect from New Caledonia. Seen the defence crumple and the goal frame with it, but Daniel Burns won't mind too much, at least for now.
Yes, and just looking ahead to the Solomon Islands Malaysia game, you talk about those suspensions, Gordon, and news too, perhaps some injuries in that Malaysian camp. So if that squad's severely depleted, it's going to be very difficult for Malaysia tonight. You need your full 12 players really. 40 minutes might not seem like a long time, but players tend to work for 3 or 4 minutes, and it's hard work out there on court. So if they've only got, say, 6, 7 or 8, it's really going to play into the Solomon Islands' hands, and really that just emphasises the importance of a victory, a good victory for New Zealand tonight if they want to go to the semi-finals tomorrow.
Yes, quite correct. At the moment, if we assume that Malaysia do complete the first round with a 100% winning record, they will face the team that finishes second, so either New Zealand or they will face
Tahiti
in the semi-finals, and that is going to be a tactical match in the extreme, as we saw in this Futsal Roos clash.
Yeah, well, Tahiti sat very deep against Australia, happy to let Australia play the ball around that compact defence. Malaysia, a very technical team. So yeah, interesting prospect tomorrow night for Tahiti versus Malaysia.
So we're barely a minute and 23 seconds into the match between New Zealand and New Caledonia. And it's 1-0 to New Zealand. It's an interesting hoop shirt.
Hopefully no more goals tonight, Gordon.
Well, certainly not that uproot the goal frame. Well, we're still not clear, folks. There's another check going on by the match officials. I think that's as firm as they're going to get it this evening. So we were talking earlier about a select side from this tournament, and names like Mika Leolapa popped up into the discussion. Ronan Usen, the New Caledonian goalkeeper, was another. Hisham Camry from the New Zealand invitation side. Well, it looks as though the concern is over the junction between the upright and the crossbar. There may well be some metal fatigue there that's causing concern. There are goal frames on the training court, which is adjacent to the main court here at Truss Arena. Not sure whether or not they would be brought into play. Oh, there's photographer Shane Wenslick in your picture. He almost wore that goal as it collapsed, with Luke Cornice caught up in it like a porpoise.
He's thinking about that all-star team. It's going to be interesting. Bit of work to do yet, Gordon, and we'll see after tonight's games some of the other players that we might like to insert into that squad.
Poroworo, Cornice, Paule, Ty Barham hunting for the loose pass. Luke Cornice. Poroworo. All New Caledonia at the moment. They trail a goal to nil. Paule. Ford. Still David Ford. Well, he's rushed the second pass. And that's fallen straight into the hands of, or the feet rather, of Daniel Burns, the goal scorer. Eakins. Manikim. He was red hot against the Solomons and only lukewarm against Malaysia, like many of the futsal whites, Dylan Manikim. But this could be a match where he reignites his earlier form. Poroworo. Ford. Well, that's sloppy from David Ford. Manikim does well to keep that.
New Zealand is quite happy to press high, Gordon. Put some pressure on that first touch of the New Caledonia players, and it worked for them there, as we see Burns setting himself up for the set piece.
Shot blocked, and a chance to counter-attack for New Caledonia. Poroworo can finish. Oh, well done by Daniel Burns. That's excellent defending. Oh, a handball. Was there a handball? It looked like it took a touch off Cornice, but Usen's made an amazing save nonetheless.
Great work by Burns and end-to-end stuff. Good counter-attack too.
No, I apologise. It hit the base of Cornice's foot. Well, the changeover taking place for Le Kagu. Kaui is on, Thierry Waimar and Jess Porairoa. With the number 6 shirt and the gloves. Also Thierry Waimar sporting gloves. Porairoa's shot is harmlessly wide. Mannequin. Well, there's a bit of shoving going on between Waimar and Mannequin. Burns. Eakins. Vaughan. Mannequin. Eakins on the break. He's turned Waimar well. Has managed to stay forward, but couldn't keep possession, and it's back with New Caledonia. Eakins. Porairoa. That's a good header by James Vaughan, very intelligent. Mannequin can't get by Kaui. James Vaughan goes to the floor and says he's got the ball. Gets a shove from Waimar. You can tell there's plenty of tension down there.
I think he probably did get the ball, but
yes, he did.
Once again, Vaughan to the fore. I know Scott Gilligan, very fond of Vaughan's defensive capabilities. Works very hard for the Futsal Whites. Experienced player, James Vaughan.
Jakobsen Cora injected into proceedings. It's part of his shot that flashed wide. Now Burns.
Pressure from New Caledonia.
Yes, look how high up the court the Le Kagu are pushing. Well, Mannequin's still going. Managed to avoid one tackle, and he's got a corner. Well, he should have. Well, the lid just threatening to blow off here.
Yeah, very competitive out there at the moment as New Caledonia try and keep New Zealand in check.
Porairoa.
Too high up the court for New Caledonia.
Andrew Parawi's long ball is wildly inaccurate. Chance for Elian to just slow the pace down.
Yeah, they won't get much change out of New Zealand with that tactic. New Zealand well organised under Gilligan.
Burns.
Once again, New Caledonia switching the whole quartet, Gordon.
Well, the play's gone on while that's taken place. Well, New Caledonia aren't happy, and I can only think that this is going to contribute to the simmering tension between these two sides.
You have to be organised when you make your switches like that, and I suspect New Caledonia weren't.
He's getting a acknowledgement from Darius Turner. David Ford can't keep the ball in. So the action coming to you from OFC TV via our YouTube channel and our good friends at Summit Sports. Good ball from Vaughan. Burns in the clear. Oh, he's gone himself and he scores. New Zealand 2 goals to the good. Daniel Burns.
Terrific pass by Vaughan, great vision, and the execution, ball speed, absolutely perfect.
James Vaughan with a sublime pass, a defence-splitting pass. Burns took one touch. I thought he might have killed the chance. He had Dylan Mannikin to his right, but he didn't need him. New Caledonia trailing by 2 goals to 0. 2 to Daniel Burns. Here's an opportunity for Luke Cornish, who was just hiding in behind that New Zealand quartet, and as the ball broke clear, he was clear. But he couldn't take full advantage of the opportunity.
Malavuk and Major in as well, Gordon.
Pale. Oh, what a goal out of nothing. Malivuk is stunned.
Yeah, New Zealand just took a little while to get organised there. They made 2 switches at the back with Miro Major and Mickey Malavuk, and just too much room. 2-1, and good comeback for New Caledonia. New Zealand need to win well tonight to be, you know, have some sort of security when they watch the Solomon Islands Malaysia game later. Could come down to goal difference, so it's a setback for them.
Game very much on at Trust Arena. Malivuk, oh, and that was nearly pounced upon by Potawatomi. Show of frustration from Scott Gilligan. Futsal White's just shaky at the moment, despite being in front. Good footwork, and that crept through to the D. Mannikin does some good work. Vaughan has an opportunity to bring Major into it. He could have hit it. Major's rolled the dice there with the back heel. It's wound up with Luke Cornish.
Just following that pattern of some very open games, of course we had the Tahiti game with Australia that was a bit different, but largely we've seen teams attacking, counter-attacking, end-to-end stuff, and yeah, New Zealand will want to just settle it down here. It's getting a bit crazy.
Eric Sahuliwa is going to take the free kick for New Caledonia. Landry Padawi makes a run into the far post. Chance goes begging for Lake Agu.
Great work by Eakins. Well, at least up until that point, but a good run. He surged forward after playing that initial pass.
Well, New Zealand at the moment, Paul, going through what the other 2 teams in the group went through to varying degrees, and they're being dragged into a match played very much in the way that New Caledonia wanted played.
Yeah, I think so, and that's what I meant about perhaps the craziness. A little bit wild. They just maybe want to just get their foot on it and dictate the tempo a bit more, but New Caledonia may not let them do that. And just a bit rattled at the moment, New Zealand, despite being in front. These guys working in quartets, just coming on and working hard for 3-4 minutes, giving it everything and then coming off again for a break. It's an interesting tactic.
It certainly is. It's one that will allow New Caledonia to continue to play in a helter-skelter, hustle-bustle fashion.
And just looking now as they're poised over halfway, that pressing New Zealand and putting pressure on the first touch. See Eakins now. Good ball by Ragood.
Here is Here's Ragood.
Good response just this minute from New Zealand. Nice parallel ball from Major. And they did well there after the pressure put on by New Caledonia up high on the court.
Ragood is taken down by Kauui. No complaints there, that was pretty straightforward. Chance for New Zealand from the set piece.
Both teams up to four fouls already, Gordon, and we're not even halfway through the first half.
No, I think we'll see that 10-metre penalty at some point before the half-time whistle. Kauui, who is an all-action, up-and-at-'em type player, is always running the risk of conceding these types of infringements. Oh, well played. Mannequin can't hit the target. That was a very well measured set play by New Zealand. Just lacked the finish at the end of it. Malik Pale. Well, Malik Pale was caught lingering on the ball and he knew it, and he went to stop Ragood any way he could, and he's conceded a foul, which is to be taken by Miller Major.
5 fouls now for New Cali.
Here's Kauui going beyond Major. The shot, oh, and it really did test Elian. He got it at the second asking. Mannequin taking on Kauui. Oh, it's ended up in the back of the net.
Yeah, and it started great technique, superb turn by Mannequin, and he drilled that one in, but it all started with that fantastic turn as he took the ball from Major. A little bit of good fortune, but all the same well deserved. So 3-1 New Zealand.
Well, I'm not sure whether or not you class that as an own goal or it's chalked up to Dylan Mannequin. Ronan Usen's not having the best of evenings so far. He's had a good tournament overall, but some of the defending in front of him this evening has not been of the same standard as we've seen in the past 48 hours. Weimar. Well, Mickey Malivuk and Malik Pale getting into a tangle. I think there's some fireworks still to come here, Paul.
Yeah, I don't think the goal scoring's over by any means, but we might see some yellow cards, and I think we'll be heading to the 10-metre penalty mark before the half is out.
I think we'll be doing well to avoid that, but like you, I can't see that happening. Malivuk. Ragood. Burns. Back to Malivuk. Needs an outlet ball here, Malivuk. He picks Ragood. Burns. Ragood. Malivuk. Oh, he couldn't make the connection. New Caledonia off the hook. Potawatomi goes to the floor. Eakin says he dived.
Well, whichever way you look at it, it's 5 fouls for both teams now. As we go to a timeout, looks like New Zealand, no, straight to the free kick. But a good break from New Caledonia there. And we'll see what they can conjure up at the free kick.
Landry Parawi stands over the ball. Wow.
4 seconds, I guess, he took after the whistle. So it's with New Zealand.
All rather untidy.
Yeah, they've squandered a good opportunity there.
Right, good. All the way through to Malivuk. held up well.
Nice work from the pivot.
It's really tidy work from Mickey Malivuk. Eakins, Ragud. Nice first touch by the number 4 for New Zealand. Burns, Eakins. And Daniel Burns lapsing into football mindset there. That was a short pass.
Once again, that pressure on Burns. But New Zealand probably a little bit happier now with the tempo, as we see James Vaughan check back in to give Wada Ragud a break. But New Zealand in the box seat for now anyway at 3-1. They just need to get a firm grip as we see Malivuk with a good ball into Vaughan.
Chance for Vaughan. Good save by Usen. Very well done by the New Caledonian keeper.
Solomon Islands have arrived, I see, Gordon.
Yes, and the mouth-watering fixture that will be against Malaysia. I expect a game that's a bit more rich in its technical features than perhaps this one is.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Solomon's probably still hurting. They bounced back, I guess, to a degree against New Caledonia, but they still haven't really found their rhythm in Auckland this week. Tonight's a great opportunity for them, but they'll have to keep their discipline defensively. If they put pressure on that Malaysian side, I think they could get unpicked.
Luke Cornice. Ivan Paraworo. Cornice again. Now Ronan Usen. Oh, and that's intelligent thinking. The execution a little bit on the heavy side by Ivan Paraworo. Cornice. Paraworo. Thierry Waimar came short. Malik Paulé has pulled away here on the left. That shot not too far away. Lyon felt enough of a threat to make a leap for it. Purely precautionary, I'd imagine. Eakins, Malivuk, Vaughan. New Zealand dictating the pace of this at the moment. Malivuk pulls away, tries the first time left foot shot and misses the target.
New Zealand just setting up around halfway as we go to another timeout. So an interesting opening 12 minutes. We've had a delay with the goal, I guess partially breaking, but New Zealand on top at 3-1. But still anyone's game. Burns and Mannequin with goals, and New Caledonia working very hard to disrupt the rhythm of this New Zealand side, who they haven't got one foot in that semi-final yet. There's a lot of work to do yet. But Scott Gilligan with the side now, and just going over a few tactics with 8 minutes left on the clock. Both teams on 5 fouls, so they have to keep their discipline.
Here's another look at nearly a chance.
Great turn, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a great turn. It did take a touch off Kau'ui. But Mannequin's a danger down that left-hand side nonetheless. Kau'ui recovered. He got stood up, and then in the lunge to block Mannequin's shot, it just deflected past Ronan Usen. So New Zealand ahead by 3-1. 1 foot in the semi-finals. Pending the outcome of the Malaysia-Solomon Islands game, and of course whether or not they can hold New Caledonia off for the remaining 28 minutes and 20 seconds of this game.
1 foot or 1 toe?
One toe. It's delicately poised. Here's Thierry Weimar. Cornice. Potawatomi appealing for New Caledonia possession. He felt that in his efforts to get back that he might have toe poked the ball off Manicum. He's got the ball back anyway. It's now 3v2. There's a scoop pass for Weimar. Oh, and he's put his hands out to get that. And he made contact with his hands as well. It's going to be a yellow card for Thierry Weimar.
Too tempting for him, eh? Thought he was playing handball.
Well, he gets a ruffle of the hair, but it's just one of those moments where any player who feels they're only just literally within touching distance of the ball has to resist a natural human urge to reach out for it. In any case, it's going to be the 10-metre penalty.
Indeed, and we thought it was coming, and it's arrived with 8 minutes on the clock. But again, if they foul again after this one, it's straight back to this point again.
Kareem Osman for New Zealand with the right foot against Ronald Gayon, the replacement goalkeeper. Oh, he's hit the underside of the crossbar. New Caledonia survive. So does the goal frame, which is good news. It was hit with such ferocity, I wouldn't have been surprised if the goal frame hadn't have sustained it. Look at that. Gayon was nowhere near it, and Kareem Osman striking the underside of the crossbar. 3-1 it remains. Vaughan, Burns, Eakins. Eakins running into the clear. Weimar tracking him. Vaughan, he's got Burns to his right. Osman. New Caledonia. Trying to defend. There's a square. New Zealand moving the ball around crisply. Osman's shot, oh, good one. That was nearly deflected into the path of Daniel Burns. Kareem Osman is hitting the ball with such ferocity at the moment. Look at that, Usen wasn't even sure where the ball had ended up. Paul Rairoa. Kaui. Landry Parawi. Critical touch made by Eric Saihuliwa. Flip back into the middle. Landry has a go at it. It's a wild one. To do much better than that in futsal. Eric Saihuliwa with the shot not far away.
Once again, New Caledonia just disrupting that rhythm as they've done all tournament.
Saihuliwa. Oh, that's a solid enough shot from Jess Porairo. Right idea by Vaughan
Yeah, but once again, New Caledonia just not giving New Zealand much of an option there, and coughing up the ball. Vaughan back with New Caledonia now with the surge forward, looking for a long ball, but again, that's not hard for Osman to pick out.
That was a tough one for Kareem Osman to handle. Oh, good block by Ronan Usen. Mannequin has a go. Still with Kareem Osman. Mannequin. New Caledonia hanging on. They're within touching distance, just 2 goals behind. They're going to need to score at least 3 if they're to force the semi-final issue any further than tonight. They must get 3 points.
Burns a real workhorse for New Zealand, gives it away there.
Oh, chance. Oh, and Malik Palais lacked technique. That was all that was the difference between scoring and missing. That was a nice setup. Credit to Elian. He rushed out to meet the threat. Thierry Weimar just hasn't been able to get his touch going, Thierry Weimar.
No, quite a few errors on both sides tonight.
A good run by Kareem Osman, saved by Usen. That was top-class goalkeeping by Ronan Usen. Hopefully we can see that again on a replay, because that for me was the goalkeeping of the tournament. That save was brilliant. This was even better, and then the final touch to take it off the toe of Kareem Osman. There's a top quality international goalkeeper playing for Lake Kagu, and his name is Ronan Usen.
And 10-metre penalty now for Lake Kagu.
Lake Kagu, indeed. And Mannequin just leaning into Ivan Pororo, and that's what that's been given for. And it shows you the value of the saves by Usen. That could have easily been New Zealand 4-1 up, and now an opportunity for his skipper, Ivan Pororo, to make it 3-2, possibly.
Yeah, a big moment in this tournament, Gordon.
Ata Elian, can he match his colleague down the other end of the court with some heroics of his own? Poroworo missed the other night. He doesn't now. New Caledonia feel that they're back in it.
And like the Malaysian 10-metre penalty last night, that's a precision kick from the 10-metre penalty mark. It's not easy, especially when the keeper narrows the angle like that. But he went low and into that corner. Beautiful goal really for New Caledonia, and the pressure back on New Zealand. And just remember, with 4 minutes on the clock, neither side can commit a foul, otherwise it's straight back to that 10-metre penalty mark. We knew it was going to be tight, Gordon.
Well, we're certainly getting a tight game. Paul, you're quite right. I mean, 3-2. Lake Kagu from New Caledonia. 2 defeats prior to tonight, but they could be a wild card for the semi-finals if they can get in front here and hold on to it. New Zealand, who started the tournament with a history-making victory, in control presently, but the tide could be changing. We'll see. James Vaughan. Oh, he just lingered on the ball, Vaughan, and there was an opportunity to link Kareem Osman in.
Miro Major wants this one. So does Marvin Eakins by the look. He's coming in for James Vaughan.
Ronald Gayon has come on for Ronan Newson as the specialist 10-metre spot kick stopper. Miro Major, a set-piece specialist in football. And now, hopefully for the Futsal Whites and his country, a set-piece specialist in futsal.
It's quite a stance he's adopted, isn't it, the keeper?
Yeah, that's how would I describe that? Funky? Well, we'll see. Major, he's missed it. Effective enough.
Absolute delight on the New Caledonia bench. They're fired up, and yep, they've got 2 keepers that have made a huge contribution to their tournament.
Here's Manikim into the side netting. Goodness, it was hard to, and I don't mean this with any disrespect, but it was hard to keep a straight face with Ronald Gayon and his Jersey Dudek approach.
Yeah, I felt I'd given you a hospital pass asking you to describe that, Gordon. But
yeah, you had. But fair play to the guy. I mean, Miro Major's not managed to hit the target, but Kareem Osman, not much of a target to aim at there for Kareem Osman.
I wonder what the odds of us getting to half-time without another 10-metre penalty are. It's 2 minutes 30 left on the clock. Both teams on 6 fouls.
Yes, imagine it was New Caledonia who were to get it, potentially tie the game up. Kept out by Eakins. Corners. Miro Major. Good ball, lovely ball. Manikim thought about the first time strike. He's decided to retain possession, work his way into Malik Paulé. Kareem Osman providing cover. Miro Major keeping the ball movement fluid. Manikim spots Major in a good position. Major, oh, that's lovely. Good save by Ronan. He gets another bite at it.
Yeah, and trademark Miro Major there with the drag back and shot. He couldn't score on that occasion, but nice to see Major returning to some of the form we've seen from him over the last couple of years. Great ball by Manikim too.
Just a quick check of the clock. 1 minute and 7 seconds to go before half time. New Zealand 3, New Caledonia 2. Corners still going. Malivuk. Malivuk Major and Manikim, all three providing defensive cover. New Zealand goal still intact. Oh, Manikim. Oh, that's a nice cutback. Malivuk was 2 yards too early.
Well, it's been a bit untidy at times, Gordon, but overall a pretty thrilling game for the crowd and hopefully for the viewers. Just 30 seconds left on the clock, 3-2, New Zealand up, and plenty to look forward to in the second half.
Oh, that's some show of pace by Eric Saihuliwa. Look at this, puts on the afterburners. And the finish wasn't too shabby either. Eakins, good save.
That man using again.
And he's back to his best. He didn't start off so great in this game, conceding 2 goals to... oh, and Manikim picks it off at the far post in timely fashion, 12 seconds before the halftime break. This is the value of taking up a position at the far post. Eric Saihuliwa had been drawn toward the ball, and when it broke left, Manikim had only to put it into the back of the net. There might be more to come for half-time. A couple of seconds left. Eakins. Well, that's good for New Zealand. Frustrating for New Caledonia. 4-2 at the break. Two goals for Daniel Burns, 1 goal for Dylan Manikim, with a second perhaps hinting at a suspicion of being an own goal. And Malik Paulé and Ivan Poroworo have struck for New Caledonia. Let's take a look back at the highlights of the first half, and it was a explosive opening. Daniel Burns going on a solo run, just went round Poroworo like he wasn't there, and then applied the finish. And Luke Cornice fell into the back of the net and took the goal frame out. Excellent piece of play by the rangy Burns. Using got an elbow on it, it wasn't enough, and Luke Cornice, as you can see there, with a bemused look on his face. Burns made it 2-0. This was a wonderful pass by James Vaughan. Usin came out, he didn't make enough of a contact, and the defensive cover was not enough to prevent Burns netting a second. Malik Paulé pulled one back, almost out of nothing, you might say. Malivuk looked as though he had done enough, but Ata Elian could do nothing. Look at this, it goes right into the top right-hand corner. Joy for Leikagu. Then Mira Major putting this ball through for Manikim. He just rolled off Kaui, who then got a touch on it, and the ball rocketed into the back of the net. Yeah, that looks like an own goal to me. You can tell from the way that Usin's moving across to his left. This shot from Kareem Osman forced a good save out of the keeper, but for the second phase, look at that. Usin doesn't know where the ball is. Daniel Burns hunting for a hat-trick. Poroworo made it 3-2. What we don't see there is a series of wonderful saves by Usin that led into this moment. Eric Saihuliwa in action there, and Dylan Manikim breaking clear of Saihuliwa. Usin was taken out of the action, and an easy goal for the in-form New Zealander, Manikim. New Zealand 4, New Caledonia 2 at the OFC Futsal Championships Invitational at half-time. We'll take a short break and rejoin us back here at OFC TV YouTube channel and on Summit Sports for the second half. Welcome back to the Trust Arena in Henderson. It's half-time in the game between New Zealand and New Caledonia. The Futsal Whites lead by 4-2, 2 for Dylan Manikim, 2 goals for Daniel Burns, while Malik Paulé and Ivan Porooro have struck for Le Kagu. So in terms of the semi-final picture, New Zealand would do enough to at least tip New Caledonia out of the competition completely, but they would have to wait and see the outcome of the match between Malaysia and the Solomon Islands, scheduled for 8 o'clock tonight, although we have had an interruption to this evening's match already, with the goal frame collapsing just a minute into this game, and as such it's had to have some running repairs that resulted in a 5 or 6 minute stagger. Because of that, our viewers on the Summit Sports platform will be leaving us at the final whistle. There will be the usual round of post-match interviews that will take place for viewers on the OFC TV YouTube channel, and you can see at the top of your picture there, if you've got a keen eye, Danko Koprasic, the former futsal international and current Auckland City FC player. He's, of course, very, very good friends with Mero Major, who's played a key role in tonight's game for New Zealand. Fred de Jong, the high-performance manager from New Zealand Football, there with Ty Nicholas, the OFC General Secretary. And a small group of fans dotted around Trust Arena, enjoying the futsal action this evening. Here is Scott Gilligan, coach of the Futsal Whites. He's had an opportunity to impart his wealth of knowledge to his team, and we'll see how they go about trying to implement those views in the second half. He's still waiting on New Caledonia to return to the court. You can, of course, get a full match schedule from www.oceaniafootball.com for this tournament, the OFC Futsal Championship Invitational. There are a number of playoff games taking place tomorrow from 1 o'clock. The playoff for 7th place, and then at 3 o'clock New Zealand local time, it's the playoff for 5th, and then 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. it's the semi-finals. Saturday, of course, is our feature match day. It's the 3rd/4th playoff at 5 p.m. and then the final at 8 p.m. There are 2 semi-finals to be played before that, of course, and these matches will find their way to you on the Summit Sports platform. Those games will be played on Sunday the 28th of July, 1 p.m, a final full replay plus the 3rd/4th playoff in highlights. And then the show will be replayed in full at 10:30 p.m. on the same day. Paul, just with regards to this game, are New Caledonia out of it now with a 2-goal deficit, or can they claw this back and do the unthinkable and perhaps put their hand up for the semi-finals? They'll need to score 3 times at least to make that a possibility.
Yeah, for sure, Gordon, but no, definitely not out of it at this stage. 4-2, it was a late goal from Manikim for New Zealand to just give them the edge at half-time, but New Zealand have been interrupted really by New Caledonia. They've done it all tournament, disrupted other sides, and you know, that it hasn't been a great quality game compared to some of the others that we've seen. But I think if New Caledonia can come out of the blocks, first of all they need to come out of their dressing room. It's quite a delay, isn't it? They're just maybe having a few last thoughts before they come out here to start the second half. But yeah, New Caledonia will come out firing, continue to put pressure on New Zealand high up the court. No, I think it's still game on here. An early goal for New Caledonia will give the New Zealanders a real shake, I'd say.
There's Ivan Poroworo, the New Caledonian skipper and goal scorer. Scored a wonderful scissors kick goal the other night in the match with Tahiti. He's a real jack of all trades, Poroworo.
New Zealand starting with Malavuk, Major and Eakins. Daniel Burns has been a real workhorse for Scott Gilligan over the last week. Probably had more court time than anyone, I'd say, both in the Trans-Tasman Series and the OFC Futsal Championship Invitational. But New Zealand will need to really start again. It's a cliche, it's 0-0 boys. Everyone says it when you're leading, but it really is for New Zealand. They need to score next.
Malik Parlay looking on pensively. It's a study of concentration. Mira Major. Malivuk. Holding off corners. Sahuliwa coming in to provide some help. Malivuk's managed to pull away. Ronan Usen. Oh, this is a good throw. Chance for Poroworo. That's a good ball. Oh, how did he miss? Eric Sahuliwa. How did he miss that ball?
Yeah, great chance for New Caledonia. New Zealand breather. Sigh of relief.
That was the moment for Eric Sahuliwa. Ivan Poroworo teed it up for him on a plate. It was gift wrapped as well. And Sahuliwa just, he's missed virtually an open goal because Elian came out to narrow the angle on Poroworo. He then measured the pass into his teammate almost perfectly, but he slid in and conspired to miss it somehow.
So early pressure on New Zealand, but well organised. Quite deep as Malavuk comes out to meet the ball carrier into that diamond shape. Nice ball into the pivot. Burns is hurt there.
Yes, he's taken a nasty one on the shin. So Sahuliwa's turned. Oh, and he's kicked him fair in the back of the calf. Might have even got him with the toe of the futsal shoe. And he wasn't holding back. He was striking to put the ball in the back of the net, and he's connected with the back of Burns' calf. Now, if this bruises up, as I imagine it will, he could be struggling to continue.
Yeah, Gilligan can ill afford to lose Burns. He's got, presuming they make the semi-final, and with the amount of court time that he's had over the last week, he'll be looming large in Scott Gilligan's plans. But he's pretty tough, the guy from Canterbury. But yeah, that looks like it could be the end of his evening.
With a calf injury, if that blows up immediately, then the range of movement in the soleus and just above the Achilles is extremely limited. And that means if you can't run, you can't run.
Malavuk goes high up into the pivot roll. Interesting to see if they launch one into him. Yep, there it goes. Good turn. Getting Malavuk early as possible on that occasion. As Eakins drops into the fixer, the back. Danger man, Manikim just on the left-hand side of Malavuk, but back with New Caledonia. New Zealand just sitting at the half court. Caledonia rotating nicely now, looking to work an opening.
Well, that goes against New Caledonia. Landry Padawi and Luke Cornice form a two-man wall. New Zealand have put Malivuk just in behind. Well, look, it looks like a.
Watch out for Eakins here.
Well, it looks as though Mero Major was looking for something else from either Malivuk or Eakins. And that set play just didn't come off for New Zealand.
No, Major and Eakins have developed some nice routines over the years, but not much happening on that occasion. New Zealand again, just patient, and New Caledonia, they're authors of their own misfortune there.
Malivuk. Oh, he's turned Cornice, and that's a foul. I don't know about that. I always struggle with decisions that go against bigger.
I agree, Gordon.
Like
bit unlucky.
Oh, this is good. Oh, and Manikim. How often have we seen that in this particular game where players have just arrived a yard too early as the ball's trundled behind them?
Yeah, on that occasion, Malivuk had the ball, didn't he? And difficult to see. I think he needed to be protected by the referee more than an infringement given against him. Caledonia look pressing high once again. Be difficult for Major and Eakins to get out of this. They have to go long, but no one better to go to than Malivuk, and a great ball to Eakins.
Oh, this is delightful. Delightful goal for New Zealand.
Straight out of the textbook, and that's what happens. You can put pressure, but if the side's good enough to get out of it, they can kill you, and that's one of the goals they'll be looking at over and over again, New Zealand. And yeah, a tribute to the hard work they've put in over the last few months. Terrific goal, and that'll be making the technical study group's highlight reel, Gordon.
An absolute peach of a strike. And there was plenty to admire in the build-up as well. That was top futsal.
I got so excited I didn't see who applied the finishing touch. Was it Manikim again?
It was Manikim, and I suppose the debate will rage now whether or not he's got a hat-trick.
I reckon he has. He has to claim that first goal. If he does, I think he's up to about 9 now. He must be the leading scorer in this tournament. Great work for that goal. Eakins and Major just showing composure and launching that attack from deep within their own half.
Manikim pulling wide on the left. Mero Major. Eakins. That was a bit casual from Eakins. Malivuk back battling for possession. Manikim spots Malivuk. Just a yard too quick for Mikey Malivuk.
Lekegu up against it now, Gordon. 5-2 down. But we'll see. There's been plenty of twists and turns in this tournament so far. And there's a bit of flair to the New Caledonia side. Another goal, they need one quickly.
Yes, they certainly do. They've got plenty of time. 16 minutes, 30 seconds to go. Andrew Padawi with a burst of pace beyond Manikim. Good save.
Great stop there. Yeah, New Caledonia, if it stays this way, they'll face the New Zealand Invitation side tomorrow in the playoff for 7th and 8th.
Kauui. most graceful of futsal players, Kaui. He's more of a battling type of futsal player. Nine goals for Dylan Manicum throughout this tournament. Clipped into Malivok, it's intercepted by Paul Rairo.
I'm just looking at the start lists for the next game. Gordon, looks like Malaysia after all will have 9 players available. We were hearing stories about only 6 or 7. But looks like here 9 on the card. Big game for them against Solomon Islands. And New Zealand, even if they win here, doesn't necessarily mean they'll qualify for the semi-final.
No, the Solomon Islands are going to have to do something that they haven't done so far, and that's convince us that they're back to their swashbuckling best. We saw glimpses of it yesterday, but it wasn't quite, using Americanism, the whole enchilada. They were only good in bits and pieces. Chance for Manicum. Kareem Osman picked up by Cornice. Eakins. Well played by Eakins. Malivok in support. Manicum. Kareem Osman. Good tackle by Ivan Poro Oro.
He's thinking still about that Solomon Islands Malaysia game. Perhaps a parallel. Solomon Islands played Thailand in Thailand last year. Won that one 4-3. Just thinking Malaysia have played Thailand in the last couple of years. They lost 12-1 to Thailand. But last year it was 4-4. So they've improved it immensely. But Solomons do have the ability to take on a side that many Oceania teams would find just too stiff opposition, as New Zealand found out last night. Comes down to styles, and the Solomons with their speed and their movement and their ball speed as well, may just find it an easier task than New Zealand, but they'll need to be organised on defence. And I would suggest if they're applying too much pressure, Malaysia will get in behind them.
Using Pale. Ragut doing some sterling work for New Zealand on defence. Oh, Manicum's come up with it. And just ran out of court.
Haven't seen much of Ty Burham tonight. He's usually gets a fair bit of court time, perhaps nursing an injury, or Coach Scott Gilligan just wanting to keep him out of the fray.
Well, he is a fiery character himself, Ty Barham. He started this game. He was involved briefly.
He did it. Did he pick up a card, perhaps, Gordon?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
That could come into Scott Gilligan's thinking.
James Vaughan warming up down there. He'll be in soon. Not much of a role for Jakobsen Kora so far. Ragood too has had limited opportunities, as has Kareem Osman. Both of those guys on court now, just linking up there, but the ball given away. Ragood wins it back, and that's what you're looking for as a coach, someone to win the ball back in those situations. Gilligan looking fairly composed on the side there. 13:46 left on the clock. New Zealand up 5-2. Not exactly cruising, but certainly in the box seat. But they need to add goals to that 5 that they have to give them a little bit of comfort. They'll be sitting down to watch the big game of the night shortly, I'm sure.
Well, just a quick check on www.oceaniafootball.com. There is no sign of a yellow card for Ty Barham. Just to confirm that query for you.
Yeah, it might be just horses for courses. He started with Barham and then perhaps just thought I'll give him a spell and save him for tomorrow. If they make the semis, they're up against Australia, aren't they, Gordon, for the 4th time in a week?
Yes, intriguing enough though. They face them in a one-off game, and we've seen what they can do in a one-off game when the mentality is set correctly and self-belief is flowing, and that will be an absolute spectacle to behold, I'm sure, should it transpire.
Yeah, they won't mind a 3-0 series loss if they can knock over the Aussies in the semi-final, that's for sure. But yeah, a pretty stiff task for New Zealand against a rampant Aussie side, although Tahiti, I guess, stalled them a little bit today. It was 0-0 at half-time, and probably a fortunate goal. Got them the 1-0 lead as Eakin surges forward.
Is that something that Scott Gilligan might adopt in a one-off semi-final against Australia, that he may look to set the Futsal Whites
back in line 3? Maybe. Yeah, it's a good question. It's certainly something that Tahiti have practiced a lot over the last 2 years, so perhaps easier said than done. But he needs something different because really they've been hammered by the Australians in the 6 games they've had against them. They might not like me saying that, but you know, the answers are usually on court. You know, six games to 0. They need something a bit different. But he's a pretty wily campaigner, Gilligan. I'm sure he'll have a few thoughts about introducing something different.
Well, yes. I think it also comes down to how Scott Gilligan perceives the usefulness of this tournament and that match in the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Whether or not he wants to keep moving forward with the philosophy that he's got with a longer game in mind, or whether he wants to seize the opportunity to take Australia on in a knockout match and maybe cause an upset. It really is down to the Gilligan factor, shall we say.
Yeah, for sure. And thinking about it from the players' perspective too. Oh,
well, look at that. Elian's taken a knock.
Yeah.
Terry Weimar is starting to just lash out with 1 or 2 niggly kicks at opponents, and that can't be a good sign. And Caledonia trailing 5-2. They can ill afford to try and grab 3 points, 1 player down. And here's a chance. Good save by Elian.
Good defending too. Osman was back.
Oh, Mira Major. It was a good ball. He acknowledges Osman.
Just thinking again about that Australia-New Zealand situation, Gordon. Also, you know, New Zealand were 0 for 9 a couple of days ago, and the players have had a big win against Solomons and potentially one here against New Caledonia, so their confidence levels will be a lot higher than they were on Sunday after they'd just come off the end of their 9th consecutive loss. So you can't rule that out as an influential factor when they do come up against the Aussies in a one-off game.
Rugged. James Vaughan back into action for the Futsal Whites. Oh, and Madigan's pulled clear. Kaui provided defensive cover and forced Manikin to take evasive action, and the ball trundled out.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that again. I thought perhaps he could have hit Ragood at the back post, but he took another touch.
Clipped in by Major. Just midway through the second half. New Zealand 5, New Caledonia 2. Ragu.
Great turn.
That was a lovely turn. So close.
He spun that ball and turned quickly. Good turn, but shot off target.
Well, Eric Sahuliwa felt he got the ball there. The referee, Amatesh Bihari of Fiji, thought otherwise. Well, from the replay, it suggests that Sahuliwa has a case.
Great ball, Major. Once again, that angled ball causing mayhem. Vaughan did it earlier, I think for one of Burns' goals. But some of the sting has gone out. 10 minutes left, 5-2. But New Zealand probably need a couple more just to give themselves a bit of comfort before they settle into watching the final game of the night. Nice touch there by Billy Kapoor, the cameraman.
Yes, well, this has not been pretty viewing for the purists. And a lot of fouls, stoppages, moments like the one we just witnessed. Uda Ragud taken out by Jess Pororairoa. Look at that, that's cruising stuff.
Scything tackle.
Major. Ragud. Vaughan's first time pass. Picked up by David Ford. Mullivok back into the fray.
I think the two evening games tonight will be a study of contrasts, Gordon. This is a bit rough and ready at times. Plenty on the line, and that can happen in games such as that. But I think with the very technical Malaysians and Solomons as well, with very skillful, quick players, we'll see quite a different game. Could be very open, depending on how Solomons approach it. But yeah, quite physical at times here, and a lot of mistakes from both sides.
Manikim can release Malivuk. Jakob Sincora goes for a shot, deflects off Cornice. Back with New Zealand. Untidy stuff from the Futsal Whites. Montaigne still urging his players on. Corners. Landry Parawi. Oh, good save. Wonderful save. Elias Bele.
Interesting talking with the KGU staff earlier, Gordon. They brought with them a sports scientist who's monitoring heart rates and getting data specific to futsal. Players wired up, and interesting because there's not a lot of literature on futsal. There is in Spanish and Portuguese, not a lot in English, but New Caledonia will have some in French after this tournament. It'll be nice to tap into that.
It's just another indicator of the growing science behind the sport of futsal. Andre Hammer. Long ball forward to Landry Parawi.
Tahiti arriving for a look at the Malaysia Solomon Islands game.
This totally makes sense to clap eyes on potential opponents.
Goalkeeper David Duro, I see, on crutches. So it doesn't look like he's going to be ready tomorrow.
No, that's not good news for Tahiti. But they showed earlier that Tevari Kaiha was up to the task as a stand-in goalkeeper.
He did well. I thought they missed him a little bit as a court player,
Yep.
but he did a very good job, and he was a bit unlucky. We were talking earlier about that first Australian goal was a bit fortunate. And he couldn't do anything about the second goal. Cooper got himself into a great spot.
Sincora. So New Caledonia up to 4 fouls as well.
Yeah, they need to watch that. They pulled the timeout. So 5-2. New Zealand, yeah, still for my money, 1 toe in the semi-final. Perhaps a bit more, half a foot now. But yeah, I just, it's a mouth-watering thought, the Solomon Islands game. Malaysia are warming up to our left behind the curtain, and they're razor sharp, these guys. Solomon Islands with still hurt pride, haven't found their rhythm, and nice little crowd building up, and I'm sure many people watching back home in the Solomon Islands will want to put on a good performance, because feeling is that they're going to get knocked off their perch, or at least they have been by New Zealand, and it's not over yet for them. So it'd be nice to see a good performance from the Oceania-based side up against this crack Malaysian outfit.
Yes, it would just be the script for Solomon Islands Kura Kura to turn on a performance for the watching world. And it would be good for themselves as much as anything. There were signs in the second match that perhaps some of the confidence had drained out of them after the defeat to New Zealand, and they turned in a competent enough performance against New Caledonia. There were still 1 or 2 areas that require work. Jack Wetney is back in the mix this evening for the Solomon Islands after missing out through suspension against New Caledonia.
I think James Eggerta's out though, suspended from what I've heard, and for me that's a massive loss for the Solomon Islands side. From that position, that fixer position at the back, he's so influential. They look really excellent at times when he was on the court, and he was a huge part of their campaign in the World Cup last year, and in Spain when they toured prior to that. But yeah, they're going to miss him.
Here's Malibok. Vaughan. Sincora showed. He's got it now. That's a great pass by Jacob Sincora. Manikim's cross was picked off by Thierry Waimar, and Kaui was the New Caledonian who managed to lash the clearance.
Important to remember also, Gordon, just on the Solomons, that that lack of game time. You know, they've played 2 games since the World Cup in November, and they're up against a side in Malaysia that have played something like 21, 22 games, and you know, we have big expectations of Kuru Kuru, all the futsal fans in the Pacific region, but the reality is without games, it's a heck of a task to try and match it with an Asian side like Malaysia.
Here's David Ford for Leikagu. Oh, and that's desperate stuff. Not really well conceived. Vaughan again. Oh, and that's a late challenge from David Ford. The referee has given advantage to the Futsal Whites. Sincora rolls it back to Manikim. Oh, chance for James Vaughan. Just scoops it off target.
Gives the 5th foul though, even though he let the advantage flow. So New Caledonia with 6 minutes 22, they cannot afford another 10-metre penalty. All in all though, I think New Zealand will be fairly happy. There was quite a lot of pressure going into this game. They have to qualify for the semi-final. Home team tournament. and a minimum requirement semi-finals, and yeah, we'll just have to see how it pans out, but 5-2, not too bad.
James Vaughan has a right to feel frustrated by that. I thought he caught that one cleanly, but the referee, the man who matters, viewed that differently. Here's Landry Parawi. Nicky Malivuk. Vaughan. Malivuk. Manikim. Sincora. There is New Zealand's clearance. It's picked up by the Futsal Whites, and they've got the advantage of numbers. So the match with 5 minutes and 40 seconds and counting. New Caledonia watching their semi-final hopes slip away. Malivuk, the pivot. Vaughan. Miro Major. Manikim. Back with Major. New Caledonia chasing the ball without much product.
I've liked the look of Vaughan this tournament, Gordon. Smart player. I think he's got a big future on the court, but also perhaps later as a coach. He's a real scholar of futsal. He's got a long history in the game.
Yes, I know that the season before last that he had something to do with the Northern Football Federation futsal group. They were struggling at the time.
That's right, and he came in and he kind of transformed them in the, I think it might have been Series 2 or 3 of the National League, and yeah, he didn't have a lot of time with them, and but no, he's got great knowledge and interesting character. I think doing his Masters or his PhD, some interesting topics in football. He's great to talk to, working in Australia at the moment, and a very valuable member of this squad, and I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up coaching one day this Futsal White side.
Ivan Potaworo bring the ball forward. Thierry Waimar behind him. Still Potaworo. Oh, and that is a chance that goes down as missed. Eric Sahuliwa, perhaps tired legs and a tired mind as we crawl towards the conclusion of the final group match here. Look at this, he had 2 goes at it and couldn't get it on target.
Massive relief for Elias Billet there in goal for New Zealand.
David Ford with a good interception, still going. Solid shot. Billet equal to the task.
Malivuk's done well this tournament as well. I think he's really come back into the mix. There were some doubts. We talked about the injuries, but here he is there just breaking up that attack. He's got Manikim to his left. He's going to have a crack himself and pulls it wide, but yeah, Malivuk, I think, well and truly back for the Futsal Whites.
Yes, I remember when the Futsal Roos came over for that series in one of the first OFC TV broadcasts of the Futsal Whites, and there was talk around the future of Mikey Malivuk, but for me, having witnessed his performance in this tournament, he's obviously looking fit, he's enjoying his futsal. That's a good shot from Kao Yui.
I think one of the keys has been his versatility. Traditionally he's just been seen as a pivot, but at times he's been used in a more withdrawn role, and he gets through some work defensively, and you know, at the end of the day everyone on the court has to contribute on attack and defence, and Malivuk's played his part in that over the last week or so.
have a look at that Kauiui shot. It was fierce enough. But Elias Bioi was more than a match.
Eakins poised centre court. He's gone about his work well too again this tournament. Nice technical player, very unhurried. Good little feint there, receives it. Another little give and go. But sometimes you don't notice those things. He makes it look easy, Eakins, and he's led well tonight.
Kauiui lines up with another shot. Malivuk provides a cover.
New Zealand just enjoying counting down the clock. 3 minutes left. They won't mind if New Caledonia hang on to it for a bit.
Wara is a delightful player.
He is.
He's in this sort of mood.
Yeah, lovely stuff, and Mannequin had to do well to block that. Sincora back in. Bit of an enforcer role with 2.5 left in the game.
Oh, Malivuk is through. There's no interference from a referee. Jakob Sincora, what a save! That's incredible. That is absolutely incredible from Ronan Usen.
We've talked about him all week, Gordon, and that might be the best one of the lot.
This was extraordinary. Malivuk drew Usen. Now look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's had to make up 7 or 8 yards there to prevent Sincora from scoring. Sincora's going to have that sinking feeling in his stomach, but it's nothing that he did. It was all down to the quality of his opponent, Ronan Usen. Nice touch from Marvin Eakins, and the cover provided by Landry Parawi for New Caledonia.
Yeah, great work by Parawi there.
Well, there's been very few, in truth, there's been very few highlights in this game as Sincora goes close yet again. But Ronan Usen has shown us exactly what his qualities are.
Perhaps Gayon's dance highlight for you, Gordon?
Yes, quite. That was something else. I really enjoyed that, and it was effective. What a character he looks. The big beard and the dreads.
A small but significant contribution with preventing 2 10-metre penalties going in. I don't think he touched either of them, but the dance was enough to put off the...
No, but you know what caught my attention was when he left the court. Oh, what a shot! Poor Raira from just inside his own half.
Philae can't believe it still.
Would love to see that again. Here's Ragood. Well, the reaction when Gayon, the substitute goalkeeper, went off, he received so many hugs and high fives, and like you, I was somewhat perplexed. He hadn't actually touched the ball, but maybe something of a lucky talisman for New Caledonia. What a ride, Ryan. That was an absolute cannon.
Yeah, rasping shot. Philae still thinking about it.
Well, his first touch then couldn't match the ferocity of the touch that he had prior. What a ride.
There's a bit of outdoor football for everyone. 2 guys going up for the header and a free kick.
Oh. Eric Sahuliwa has set it up.
Man, this is not good for the futsal whites, just in terms of that goal difference again.
No, it's not. That could be a factor. Now, just a reminder that the Solomon Islands goal difference at the moment is -1. They have 3 points. New Zealand would go to 6 points with a victory here. And he's missed it.
Well, it didn't require an elaborate dance from Elias Philae, but it was enough as he blasted it over the top.
And New Zealand's goal difference now is +1, so they're +1 ahead. And the Solomon Islands would need to beat Malaysia by 3 goals, I think. That would give them a +2 goal advantage.
And 2 goals, perhaps Solomons don't have enough goals.
Well, the Solomons have scored 10, New Zealand have scored 13.
Yeah, okay.
So 3 goals for the Solomons would see them go level with the Futsal Whites.
Yeah.
But then I take it, if we're to follow football convention, that in the head-to-head the Futsal Whites would have advanced because they beat the Kurukuru in the opening game by 7 goals to 3.
Just getting a bit messy down there, but I guess regardless how it pans out from New Zealand's perspective, we're in for a treat, aren't we? 2 very nice sides at 8 o'clock, Malaysia and Solomon Islands. One of the games that we've all been looking forward to at the OFC Futsal Championship Invitational.
Yes, this has been a bruising encounter any way you want to dress it up, and along with the stoppages we've also had to endure, it hasn't made for a great spectacle at all. The goalkeeping of Ronan Newson has been a highlight for me, as well as his colleague, of course, as you pointed out moments ago. 33 seconds left on the clock.
And here he is again.
Well, he doesn't want to be swinging on that crossbar.
No.
Yeah. Here he goes. Ronald.
It's a different dance this time, Gordon.
It is. It's Ronald Gayon.
I reckon I prefer this one.
I quite like the last, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Marvin Eakins, here it is. For the Futsal Whites. And he scores. Marvin Eakins. Ronald Gayon's hopes of a 10-metre hat-trick dashed. And New Zealand 6-2 up.
Gayon's going to stay in as well. But just looking at Eakins' 10-metre penalty there, I think the third one that's gone in this tournament, all of them have gone low. Guys have tried to blast them into the top corner. They've hammered it over the top. They've hit the bar. But the most successful ones have been low into the corner. So perhaps a lesson for some of these 10-metre penalty takers. Different story from the 6-metre penalty mark. Often you'll go low and it's easier to save. But from 10 metres, that seems to be the best option. Great turn there from Vaughan.
Jakub Sinkora this time. Can the man from the Czech Republic score? He can. Jakub Sinkora for New Zealand. It's the icing on the cake for the Futsal Whites. Memories of a defeat to New Caledonia only a couple of years ago, now firmly put in the past.
Yep, and just making it that much harder for Kurukuru now in their next game.
Every goal counts.
Sure does. Well done, New Zealand. Good performance under pressure. It could have been big trouble for them tonight. They were 2-1 up, then 3-2, but in the end, too strong for the disruptors of New Caledonia.
New Caledonia are out of the semi-finals, and we bid farewell to our viewers through Summit Sports, and for viewers on OFC TV's YouTube channel, we will have the usual array of highlights and post-match interviews for you very shortly. So New Zealand have prevailed by 7 goals to 2. They now sit in second spot with 6 points, level with Malaysia in that regard, but not on goal difference. They now have a goal difference of +3, and the Solomon Islands will now have to beat Malaysia by 5 to force the issue. So highlights of a bruising match. There weren't too many of them. Dylan Manikim finished off that wonderful move by the Futsal Whites. It swept the length of the court.
Did that go in?
Yes, I'm pretty sure it did. It's hit both ends of the post, and then New Caledonia had an opportunity. Good save by the goalkeeper, Elian. Oh, sorry, Belay, and Landry with this effort. That was a great stop by Belay. Had to check back onto his left after moving to his right, and then Dylan Manicum. This cross cut out by Waimar and then by Kauai. There is a shot from Eric Saihuliwa. Couldn't get it on target. Tired legs and a tired mind. And then this moment, what a save this was. Jacob Sincora had a virtually empty goal to aim at. And look at the recovery from Ronan Usen. And Sincora can hardly believe it. This was extraordinary. Look at the suppleness in the movement. Eakins put New Zealand 6-2 up with this 10-metre penalty past Ronald Gayon. And then Sincora was not to be denied tonight, tucking away goal 7 for the Futsal Whites. And victory was assured. Marvin Eakins is sidelined with Olivier Hook to give us his views of that victory.
Marvin, it was a really tough game against New Caledonia tonight.
Yeah, New Caledonia really came at us, and we knew they would. It's always a tough game between our two countries, and it's always a good, exciting game of futsal.
Second win, you secure a place for the semi-final. It was the most important tonight.
Yeah, look, we're still not guaranteed, so we just have to make sure, see what happens in the next game. But we're really excited about getting the 2 wins against 2 Oceania teams was really important to us.
This tournament, it's important for New Zealand. You improve a lot in this kind of tournament, international level.
Yeah, look, we've put in a bit of hard work over the last sort of 6 months, and we really want it to pay off. And playing against good opposition really, really helps. That's why we want to kick on from this tournament and hopefully make Thailand.
Okay, we hope to see you in semi-final. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So very happy Marvin Eakins, and potentially a semi-final to look forward to. New Zealand having prevailed by 7 goals to 2. So that concludes our broadcast of this match between New Zealand and New Caledonia. The Futsal Whites prevailing. I'm Gordon Glenn Watson, and on behalf of OFC TV and my colleague Paul Tui, we'll take a short break and be back for the match between Malaysia and the Solomon Islands.